Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, whether you're in Australia or in another part of the world. Welcome back to K2 TV. This is a great episode to join in on. Look, if you haven't already done so, can you go down the bottom right now and hit like, comment, subscribe, ring that little bell for future videos that I drop. You can see the building behind me. This is the old Victoria Hospital in Geraldton. I'm in the middle of town at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you guys for a walk around the complex. There's a few other buildings here that we're going to go have a look at. After that, then we're probably going to go over to the jail and have a look over there, but that will be on another episode. So this one here, we're just looking mostly at the hospital. We will go inside a little bit later on and actually have a look at the display that they have set up there. So join me on that, and yeah, give it a thumbs up and away we go.
I was born in a thunderstorm. I grew up overnight. I played alone, I played on my own. I survived. Hey, I wanted everything I never had, like the love that comes with life. I wore envy and I hated that, but I survived. I don't want to get took it to a place where all the demons go, where the wind don't change and nothing on the ground can ever grow. No hope, just lies, and you're taught to cry in your pillow. But I survived. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. I'm still breathing. I'm
Alright, so before we sort of take a quick walk around the complex here, they do have like some information boards where you can actually go up and read a little bit about the history of the place and, you know, how it's changed and stuff like that. They got some, you know, old diagrams here. Obviously you can sort of see, might be a bit hard to see with the reflection, but you can sort of see like the depot. This is where we are right now. We're probably right about there roughly. So that's an old map of Geraldton, like Champion Bay. The water is here. That's sort of what we're looking at. Across here is the water's just on the other side of those buildings. They do have another information board on the other side here, so I'll go across and we'll have a look at that one. So this is the other information board we've got here. It's just shows you the layout also of the buildings. This is Lewis Street, Bailey. So basically Bailey Street is this street just here that's running down that way, and then it comes down to the intersection which is just on the other side. So these are all the buildings. I'll walk around and I'll show you those and I'll explain a little bit about them. And also Bill Sewell, which I'll talk about shortly. So there's a little bit of information there on him. And obviously like a nice old historical photo of the Victoria Hospital, which is pretty cool. So I'll show you that, and then there you go. Gives you an idea. So pretty cool to look at. Alright, I'm going to take you through the rest of these buildings and we'll go from there. So this lovely building that I'm showing you right now, this is the old Victoria Hospital. Now all this whole area that you can see right up to that back fence, all the way along the front here, when Champion Bay was sort of first settled, this area was actually known as the sick bay tent site, and it was about 1856. And it wasn't really until a little bit later that they sort of realised that they needed some more medical attention, obviously for, you know, convicts, for settlers, all those sort of things. So that's where the idea that they were going to actually build this, but before it was a hospital, they actually turned this into a convict depot. Now there used to be I think an old turntable there for trains. There was horse stables. There were actually a lot of other buildings that were on this site that have now been demolished. There were a couple of bigger sheds along this side here at the front. They've long been gone now. But we will walk around to the other side. There's a lot of buildings there, and also up the back here. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to go for a sweep around the whole building, the whole complex, and I'll show you a few of these other buildings here. But basically, this hospital that you can see in front of me, this was named in 1887 on the 23rd of June. They named the building after the Queen's Jubilee, as they did name a lot of stuff after the Queen. Obviously, she was pretty popular. So this is 1887. So there you go. You can sort of see they've actually carved it in up the top there. It's got that lovely Victorian sort of a feel to it. We'll go for a walk up through here. So before we pop back around to that other side, I just wanted to show you the facing side of Campbell House and what that looks like. You've still got the old wall along here and the main road. That building across there with the that tin roof, I think it is. That was old hospital as well. That's the Rosella House. But I just wanted to show you the facing side of this before we go back in onto the inside. Now, I did try to do this on a Sunday because it does actually get quite busy, and I don't really want to have a lot of excess noise. I mean, we do have the highway is just there, well, the main road through Geraldton. It does get quite busy, and this is a Sunday as well. So, all right. So now we're coming into the back section of the hospital. So this is all the back of the hospital here. This building, this first one, before I get into the other ones, the first building that we're looking at, the back of the hospital, that cost about £1,660 in today's standards, is about 750,000. They had a lot of like 1893 is when the typhoid and smallpox came through. A little bit later on, probably about 1906, had the bubonic plague came through. There was a section up to the rear of the property where, further up the back, where they actually cremated a few of them and put them into the Eastern Road Cemetery, which is now long gone. It's just it's nice to see these old buildings. This one needs a little bit more work. All the timbers along here and the brickwork down at the bottom, you can probably see that. See all along the bottom of it starting to sort of crumble and come away. Now this section here, this is an addition. The older section is up the back there, and they used to have sort of a like a little tunnel, I guess, to sort of bring patients through. But this back section that we're looking at here, the peak, this actually used to be the surgery ward. So the hospital itself, this commenced under Superintendent of Towns, which was Richard R. Jewell, and the colonial architect at the time was George Poole. And the man that was responsible for actually building this was David Hepburn. Now these are the buildings here. These were a little bit later on. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna explain about these ones in a second. We'll go for a walk and have a look at those lovely buildings. Alright, so the lovely building we have right here, this is Campbell House. Campbell House was named after Colin Campbell, and Colin was the controller of the general and the director of prisons from around 1966 to 1977. Now this old building, they actually they use this as like a kitchen, like a servery. It was probably used for laundry and a few other of those services. As the buildings grew and they acquired more patients and more prisoners over the other side on the prison, they would have had to employ more matrons, more nurses, cooks, cleaners, obviously in that sort of aspect. So each time it grew, they extended and built more of the buildings. There's a plaque here of that one, so it's a little bit hard to read. Campbell House in honour of Colin Campbell, 1966 to 1977. Unfortunately, this has all been cleared out. We can't actually go in there. But that's alright, we'll just go for a walk around. So, they did used to have like employment services and stuff in here. This one, Mission Australia, used to be in this building. Can't really see in there anyway. That's okay. It's a beautiful morning. It's actually a shame, I was just about to point that out then. People smashing these old light fittings and stuff. I'll show you. So that's pretty cool to see. They did also used to have, we'll just go up here quickly. There is a foundation stone, or I don't know what you call them. So this guy here, Whitnome, they had like a time capsule that they'd actually planted here. It was dug up not long ago and actually just replanted it back in there. And I'm not sure what stuff was actually in the time capsule. I guess probably newspapers and anything relating to, this era. So it's pretty cool to come and check this out. So this, where I was talking about with the surgery, this little section, the add-on, this actually used to be quite a popular little cafe, like not a restaurant, yeah, it was a cafe. It was called Hardy's Cafe, but definitely like back in the 90s, like it was really popular. I remember coming here quite a bit. Alright, so this building here, this long one that we can see, this is Crowley House. Now Crowley was built in 1897, and it was a multi-purpose building. So someone smashed the window up there. I mean, I was here last week and that wasn't like that. I hate seeing that sort of stuff. People just smashing stuff for no reason. So we'll go up here and I'll show you. It's such a beautiful place. They actually used to have people stay in here at one point. I guess like homeless and stuff like that. Alright, so around 1904, this section here that you can sort of see all these different rooms and stuff. This was actually used as an old man's home. Now it does have 2 stories, but I can't get up there, obviously, because it's locked. That looks like it's been kicked in a bit. Yeah, someone's kicked that. Here we go, there's a bit of a view from the back. Before I leave, I'll go up and I'll go up on the top of these stairs and show you from up there. It's pretty cool to see. Alright, so from about 1938, they actually used this as a children's ward, sort of prior to Nazareth House being completed. Here we go. It's still a bit hard to read, but it just says Crowley House in honour of Miss Valerie Crowley, who was a matron nurse here, matron of the Victoria Hospital, 1946 to 1966. Needs a bit of polish on it. But 1966 is when the first major hospital, the Geraldton Regional, actually opened up. And then a little bit later on, about 1988, they sort of just turned this section into a function room. They got rid of the old man, the children, and sort of moved on. At the moment, most of these little sections here are just used for sub businesses, I guess you call them. That's like a communal care one. You can sort of, it's a bit hard to see with the reflection. Yeah. But this section here, they would have had horse stables. There would have been other sheds. I do know there was a lot more sheds down the front there. When I find a photo, I'll just chuck them up. So what I'm going to do with this episode is I'm going to split it up into 2 parts. Obviously now we're doing the walk around, and I'm just sort of going through and showing you bits of the old hospital and the other buildings. But we'll come back later tonight and I'll do an investigation of this area, probably down here near the old surgery, and maybe just some other places, maybe out the back where they used to cremate people. But I mean, it's I love walking around and checking all this stuff out. It's history. It's pretty cool to see. I'd live here if I could. But what I'll do is I'll got these stairs here, and I'll just show you the view from up there so you can have a quick look at that. Alrighty, here we go. Up on the 2nd level. Alright, I'll swing the camera around, but I wanted to give you guys a view from up here because it's absolutely amazing. You can see, the sun's in the way. Geraldton, the centre of Gerald is pretty much just right there anyway. Alright, swing the camera around so you can have a look. So the hospital here, they would have had about 40 patient beds inside the actual hospital. And the other areas obviously were for accommodation. I'll take you across the other side here to Margaret House and we'll have a look at that one. So as you walk around, same with out the front, they got little information bits here. You can sort of see nurses' bedrooms, servants' rooms, box rooms, bathrooms. They do have a little bit here, so you can actually sort of see what it used to look like. Some of the nurses there. There's a little bit of information, so it's pretty cool. You can actually come up and read it. So it says here that, you know, they had 75 men, like the older men in here, till about 1911. And then about 1938, the children's ward was added to that, like a foster centre, I guess. Alright, we'll head over this side here. We're going to go have a look at Margaret House, and I'll explain a little bit there. But how amazing is it? So that's Crowley House. And if you sort of missed it before and you've only just joined in, Crowley House is named after Valerie Crowley, who was appointed matron of the old Victoria Hospital here. Alright. Right, so this lovely little cottage style building that we're looking at here, this is Margaret House. They do have, as everywhere that I've showed you, you know, that they have little information boards here. So you can actually come up and read a little bit about it. There's actually some comments made by, I'd say these would have been nurses that were actually here. It could even be these ones. They don't actually state that, but that's what I think that might be. So let's go up, we'll have a look at Margaret House. I just timed it perfectly to get through, and the sprinklers came on. So the hospital, obviously you can see behind there, we've sort of walked around and then to come up to this side, but I'll show you the Margaret House here. So the very front section here, this is the older section. This was built in 1882. It was mostly just a residence for like a matron's office. Also where sisters and whatnot would actually come. The later additions to like that side and then around the other side were actually a little bit later on. Mostly this place was used between 1948 and 1965. They also did house some of the minimum security female prisoners here as well. Now the prison is over there, but I'm just going to hold off on that one for a second. I just want to show you this building. It's so beautiful. Here we are. We don't need to go up there. I just want to show you from this side. As with a lot of it, like I was saying before, most of these buildings now are just like used for educational, like getting people in the dole started and stuff like that. So, but we'll take you up here and we'll just go a walk through back through this side and finish up at the other end there. That's alright, we don't need to worry about that. Oh. Okay. So you can see here like job link. There's a little bit of a plaque here. Margaret House. That's pretty cool. So these little sections that you can see along here, these would have been for where the matrons and stuff would have actually stayed in these quarters here. But it's a beautiful little place. You can still see the old brickwork, the old blocks. Might be a little bit hard to see. Oh no, you can see the they would have had something in this middle bit here, but generally that's Margaret House. So, and we'll go down here to this end section where you can see those other older buildings. That's the old jail, so we'll go down there and have a look. Alright, you're all gonna hate me for this one. This is the old jail, but I'm not gonna actually show you or anything about this on this episode. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna go have a look inside this later when this opens up, and that's gonna be on the next episode. So I know you wanted to sort of have a look at this one here, and I did want to incorporate it into obviously like all of the old hospital and Cowley and Campbell and Margaret House there. But we're actually gonna come back a little bit later and I'm gonna do another episode for this one because there's so much more to talk about. This is the older jail. This building here you can see on the other side of it. Now this used to be the maximum security. I am going to get access to go into this later on. Just stay tuned for that episode. So I'm sorry I'm not going to show you guys that section of it now, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that this is the old jail. It is on the same site, and there is also the warden's quarters, which you can sort of just see the top of the roof here. I'll go to the other side of the street and I'll show you that one. But the warden's quarters is literally just next door to the old jail. Alright, so we've had a bit of a walk around. I just wanted to show you guys like the old hospital and a few of the older buildings, mostly what they were used for. We will go inside obviously to this one, the Victoria, and I'll show you that one. Alright, so I'm out the front of the Victoria House here now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you inside and show you a few of the display items and whatnot in there that's left over from the hospital era, like the matrons and the nursing side of it. So we'll go in there and we'll have a quick look around and I'll show you guys a few things in there. Alright, so we're just going to have a bit of a look around and show you guys some of the memorabilia that's here now. Some of the old nursing photos. So there was roughly about 126 student nurses that actually came through this facility and completed their 3 years of medical training. That mostly was between 1948 and 1966. You can see these are all the surgical bits of equipment here, headlamps and syringe needles and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to actually see, they've got a lot of stuff here that's from that era. And also how far, modern medicine has come, with medicines and equipment itself. Yeah, there's quite a bit to have a look at. It's pretty interesting actually. Alright, so here I'll try to get out of the way of the shadow. That's Valerie Crowley right there. Valerie was a trainee, and she was an ex-army nurse. She was also appointed matron of this hospital. They also had another training school in Northam. Then in 1949 they moved to Anstey Street in Cottesloe, and then in 1955 they moved into Collins Street, West Perth, which actually became the Lexbourne House, which was the government Central School of Nursing. They also named one of the other buildings out the back here from Valerie. We'll go through here and have another look at some of this stuff. Here we go. There's one of the older photos. We are roughly here. This is the building that we're in now. So a lot of these ones here have actually been demolished. The old prison is here itself. A few more of the older photos here. I'll show you guys all these little bits of equipment and stuff.
What patients in here when you trained? When I was still at that stage. It was still a working hospital.
Some of the old bedpans.
So this became the X-ray department, and the river became this. Also, government moved around the nurses.
It's pretty cool to see some of this stuff. Alright. So just some pictures of older Geraldton, some of the older buildings that used to be around. Some are still around now. Some more of the staff, doctors and whatnot. Alright, well, I think we've had a pretty good look around in here anyway, but if you're in Geraldton or you're just a tourist or whatnot, you can pop into these places, give a little donation, it helps out a little bit, but it is cool just to check out all this stuff that's from a different era, and that it's still displayed here. So we'll move on to the next one, and yeah, that was pretty cool. So I mean, there's so much here to see, so I just wanted to sort of split it up, and tonight we're going to come back. I'm going to do an investigation, so we're going to see how that one goes, and then also on the prison side of it, which will be another episode altogether itself. So cheers for staying tuned into this one, and stay spooky, and we'll see you shortly.